California's new privacy law is off to a rocky start. Privacy startups are trying to help. One got it wrong. California's new privacy law was years in the making. The law, California's Consumer Privacy Act, or CCPA, became law on January 1, allowing state residents to reclaim their right to access and control their personal data. Inspired by Europe's GDPR, the CCPA is the largest statewide privacy law change in a generation. The new law lets users request a copy of the data that tech companies have on them, delete the data when they no longer want a company to have it, and demand that their data isn't sold to third parties. All of this is much to the chagrin of the tech giants, some of which had spent millions to comply with the law and have many more millions set aside to deal with the anticipated influx of consumer data access requests. But to say things are going well is a stretch. Many of the tech giants that kicked and screamed in resistance to the new law have acquiesced and accepted their fate, at least until something different comes along. The California tech scene had more than a year to prepare, but some have made it downright difficult and, ironically, more invasive in some cases for users to exercise their rights, largely because every company has a different interpretation of what compliance should look like. Alex Davis is just one California resident who tried to use his new rights under the law to make a request to delete his data. He vented his annoyance on Twitter, saying companies have responded to CCPA by making requests as confusing and difficult as possible in new and worse ways. "I've never seen such deliberate attempts to confuse with design," he told TechCrunch. He referred to what he described as dark patterns, a type of user interface design that tries to trick users into making certain choices, often against their best interests. "I tried to make a deletion request but it bogged me down with menus that kept redirecting things to be turned on and off," he said. Despite his frustration, Davis got further than others. Just as some companies have made it easy for users to opt out of having their data sold by adding the legally required "Do Not Sell My Info" links on their websites, many have not. Some have made it near impossible to find these data portals, which companies set up so users can request a copy of their data or delete it altogether. For now, California companies are still in a grace period, but have until July when the CCPA's enforcement provisions kick in. Until then, users are finding ways around it, by collating and sharing links to data portals to help others access their data. "We really see a mixed story on the level of CCPA response right now," said Jay Klein, who heads up consulting giant PwC's data privacy practice, describing it as a patchwork of compliance. For more on this story, visit the news article link.